Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good evening. Sean Higgs coming at you here. A little late night money. Look at lines, late night picks, whatever you want to call tonight's show. Tournament opening line report here. This is for your Thursday and Friday action, March the 20th and 21st. I was going to do individual little banners for each thing. Pass on that. Listen, I had to like, share, subscribe, notification bells on. YouTube, Sean Higgs, Picks Parlays, winners and whiners, wherever you watch. Thank you. On repeat, iHeartRadio for the podcast form. We'll just jump right into, well, there were two comments earlier when I came in there. Scotty doesn't know, and Stop Geo. Welcome, gentlemen. Okie dokie. First things first, we'll knock it out right in the bat. Your winners, official, the great Nochi. He was on YouTube. He also was the on Twitter. You can see some of his picks. The rest were on the YouTube channel. Mike Hartman won the second round here. 15 points. So it was going to be kind of close if whiskey came through, because we had Rory had whiskey, even Gary had whiskey. Stop Geo would have been in the mix there with that as well. But 15 takes it away for Mike Harmon. Houston, Duke, Norfolk, San Diego, VCU, all 1 seeds. Grand Canyon, Colorado State, Florida has 2 seeds. Alabama State, the Big Five, sets them over the top. Big week for Mike Harmon. I've already he emailed me on YouTube there, so I just got to get in touch with the Nochi, and then we'll those gentlemen will get paid. They're $150 each from yours truly. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. Not gonna. Some people give away different things. We gave away cash money here. $300. Enjoy it. Let's start doing a little breakdown of the matchups here. I was going to bring up a bracket, but whatever to that. Not going to do that. Let's just we'll go by game times here. Well, first we have our play-in games on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not going to rant. I'm not ranting here about the North Carolina and Texas getting in. And West Virginia, I think, has a bone to pick for sure. I'd rather see Cal Irvine in than one of these teams, but there's always the NIT, I guess. But let's get right into the Tuesday action here. St. Francis, Alabama State, 3.5 and a 141.5. We'll go Marcos Minutes style. I'm going to run through every game in each side of the bracket, and in between I'll stop a little bit there. But let's go. I like Alabama State here, and I think North Carolina wins. I've seen this before. I think Syracuse was a team. I was like, man, Syracuse, no way in hell they should be in the tournament. And then all of a sudden they got into like the Final Four or some crap. North Carolina, I think they take care of San Diego State. Game 2, or night 2, I should say. It's the second rounders here. We have on Wednesday, Mount St. Mary's and American, and you have your, come on, I'm going to be going here with the Mount St. Mary's here. We're getting, it's down here. It was a 3.5. Oh, excuse me, yeah, it was. Now it is down to 2.5. I see here. Okay, interesting. It's come down. Not really shocked there. And Xavier, Texas. Are you really going to be surprised here when I say let's take Xavier? over Texas. Look at this. 1.5. It's minus 145 on the money line. Really? That's where we're at today, world. All right, we'll move on to some Thursday action. Time order here on Thursday. And I'm looking, as I do this, I'll be looking over at the DK lines as I flutter around here with these. So let's get right into it. Let me just move this up here. We got all the games. Perfecto. Maybe not perfecto. I got to change sides here. There we go. That one's a little better. I could work it this way. Okie doke. Okie doke. So your first matchup here, you got Louisville, and so I'll do town wise. I know I said I was going to go bracket. We're going to do town wise. So bear with me as I move across the brackets here on the time. I do not have the times. Well, does this one have the times written on it? No. I have a couple brackets printed, but of course they don't have the times on them. So Louisville Creighton here will be leading off the top of the South 8-9 game. Louisville, where did you disappear to? Louisville Creighton. Louisville 2.5 and a 145.5 here. I'll lean Creighton in this one. And did a move on this one. We'll go Creighton again. We'll Marcos minute style. We're going to go through time wise. Go right through the times here all day on Thursday, and then again on after I finish with Thursday. I guess we'll stop, and then we'll go into the Friday games. High Point and Purdue out of the Midwest, 4 seed versus 13 seed. This line is now down to a 9.5. This was you could add a 10.5 on this one earlier, even a 9.5. I've already moved on this. If you're on the things, you know that one already. We've already moved on these games here. Next up here, Wisconsin and Montana. What? This one looks kind of high on me here with Whiskey here laying the number. So Wisconsin minus where did it go? I was just looking at it. 16.5. I don't know if I want to lay 16.5. I'll be honest with you. I think I'd be more inclined to take the points here with Montana. 16.5. Montana. Didn't bet it like Montana. Next up, Clemson and McNeese. Well, I said earlier I like Clemson to go on a Final Four run here, so they're laying 7.5. I'd still lean that way here with Clemson. BYU and VCU. This was 3. I actually saw like some 2.5s out here with VCU. Give me VCU. Gonzaga over Georgia. This is a crazy one. I mean, Gonzaga, 8-9 for Gonzaga. It's a 6.5. Maybe there's a 7s out here now. Can't make it. Gonzaga's like a top 10 KenPom team. For those, they're a 6 seed. An 8 seed. They're in an 8-9 game versus Georgia, but it's the SEC, folks. So, yeah, whatever. Gonzaga. Tennessee is for me, and Wilford, 19, 133.5. Why do I think this is going to be like some ugly 65-40 kind of game? I like the under there. I like the under. 7 o'clock action, Kansas and Arkansas. It's Arkansas for me. It is Arkansas for me. They're going to get right now. No, it's March. This is when Kansas usually chokes after like having a good regular season. I'll take the Caliparis here. Interesting. They got St. John's up after this game. So give me Arkansas on this one. 7:25, Texas A&M and Yale. Is it wrong I want to take the Bulldogs here and Yale? 7.5. 141.5. UCLA versus Utah State, a 4. 143.5. I like the Aggies. I don't know why. Why do I feel like I'm just going to get crushed here with the Mountain West? And we'll see what happens. Here's the big one. Is this going to be? I can't wait to get to the comments because boy, oh boy, all I'm going to hear is San Diego on the money line. Take the San Diego over Michigan. Michigan's going to choke. But this is down to 2.5. Where have I seen this before? Everybody's going to be all over this guy. The 5-12 upset of the year here, right? San Diego. I'm taking Michigan. I already bet Michigan. I just have to go opposite of every person I've seen talking on San Diego. And I like San Diego. But this is what I said. They're going to give them some kind of crappy matchup. I don't know. Yeah, great year for San Diego. I'm actually I kind of want them to win because I think that it'll help smaller schools in the long run. But the entire world's going to be on these guys. No, thank you. No, thanks. The final game of your Thursday night, straight out of – oh, you know what? I didn't even mention the St. John's game. I forgot to do St. John's, Nebraska. Omaha coming to Providence to take on the Johnnies, the 2-seed Johnnies. Come on, this is like a home game. They play here in Providence. So, Johnny's in a rock. Johnny's by 20. Your last game, NC Wilmington, Texas Tech, straight out of Wichita. Texas Tech currently sitting at a 16 and a 143.5. Depending on how the games go before, it can be a raucous crowd here, right? You got games rolling. I mean, you got to love it's kind of like a nonstop kind of thing here, right? I mean, are they going to kick people out? The first game is Houston, SIUE. And I think I might have passed over that one, so which I apologize. Boy, how did I miss? I did bypass that game. I went right to BYU. I passed over the Houston game. So they got Houston early. They should go on there. So people start truffling in at the end of the Houston game, right? For what? Then they're going to come in here and they're going to be tuning into Georgia and Gonzaga. That game's 4:30. 2 hours later, here comes the night card. You got Drake in Missouri. People be gung-ho for probably Drake, right? It's the underdog. And then you'll wrap up with Wilmington and Texas Tech. Will it be – will you want to take a Wilmington, maybe a first half? We think the crowd's going to be in it, be a rowdy bunch? I don't know. Let's we'll hit some comments here. See what everybody's got to say. Richie P's in a half smash your like buttons. Congrats to the contest winners. Yes, contest winners. I should make a banner. For our winners. Fanatics, 50%. Because that's where they may throw it on Florida. A little boost on the Gators. Sure. My guy, Tony George. Like Montana. I like Montana. Against whiskey? You see it, Tony. I might be making a trip out there pretty soon. Come by. We got to hit. What is the joint? We the Chart House over there at the Golden Nugget. Where do we go eat? T-Mike says, the lines are boring. What happened to the days where I could get 50 to 1s on the worst lines I've ever seen? I'm going to watch Netflix and text these crazy girls. Whoa. What do you text girls? You got a girlfriend, I thought, bro. Come on. Listen, I remember the old days when the 1 seed was a 30-point favorite over guys. There was no play-in game for the participation trophy crew. Duke laying 37. Kentucky laying 30. Kansas laying 34. Remember those days? Not this nonsense. Congratulations to the winners. And I hit the like button. I left it, came back to the like button. Well, thank you for that. Shard House, yes. It's a good joint. So I said that, right? Why is the entire world going to bet San Diego? Great, that's a great story. Great year for them. I'm glad they made the tournament. But as the community does, they're going to give these guys. I remember when Wichita was undefeated and they matched them up in the second round versus like Kentucky, who was like defending national champs. Dude, Michigan just won the Big Ten and they're a 2.5 point favorite. But come on. Come on. I get it. You want to run and take San Diego 2 points? 2 points? I mean, and I'm going to sit here and complain that Irvine didn't get it. Let's look at this team. They lost to San Diego State. Who's their best win? I'm going through their games. Utah State, I guess. Utah State, their best win? Irvine? I guess they beat Irvine. You beat Irvine 3 times. They're a top 60 team, I guess. What am I missing? Except everybody wants to bet a trendy dog. Broke up my girlfriend for the 50th time the other day. It's the many lines are crazy. I mean, what are you doing here? I mean, there's a couple. I mean, listen, you want to do Arkansas plus 180? I'd rather have the points than 180. I mean, 180 is nice in baseball. There they are gone. They are gone. Let's move on to the Friday. The Friday games. Here we go. Your noon 12:15 tip from Raleigh, North Carolina. Baylor, Mississippi State, 8-9 game. Mississippi State, basically a pick 'em here, 144. You can find something either way, I guess, if you want to really jump into this kind of game. Me, I'm not really interested in Baylor, Mississippi State. I'm seeing Baylor -1 now. I guess if you like it, I don't. Robert Morris and Alabama. Quick note here. I saw someone post that there are, get this, I saw. And I wish I saved the tweet. That there are, I think, 4 teams from the old NEC, the Northeast, in the NCAA tournament, because you have Robert Morris, Bryant, St. Francis, and American. How about that? I think the other main teams is the Big East in there. This game's interesting here. Part of me wants to take Robert Morris. I mean, I get Alabama's good. Are they? You want to lay 23 with Alabama? Morris, I think, could score some points here. 23 points. 22.5. I like Robert Morris. Lipscomb and Iowa State. Iowa State, it really let me down the other day. And hi, you're your second best player out of the tournament. This kind of stuff in football gets you banned from the playoffs. But yet here they are. We're going to be laying a 14.5 to Lipsky. I don't know. Why do I think like people might jump on that and be like, oh, I'm going to try to be a cool guy and take Lipscomb here. I don't know if I could do that. 14, 3 versus 14 seed. I don't know. It's a pass for me. Although here comes my Colorado State. You got to love it. You got to love when the 12 seed opens up as a 3-point favorite over the 5 seed. A game like that's just an autoplay for me. Colorado State. I mean, you're a 12 and you're a 3-point favorite. All right, sign me up. 3 o'clock action out of Cleveland, Ohio, Rocket Arena. The other St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. We got a 4 and a 136.5 on this. No real movement, right? 4.5, 135.5. I didn't move on this game. I could see this being an under. Why do I think I could see Vandy just coming in and getting totally stymied by St. Mary's? Maryland and Grand Canyon out of Seattle, Washington. 4:30 start here. The Terps, who I think a lot of people are going to be on the Terps, get eliminated in the Big Ten. Currently sitting at a 11.5 here versus Grand Canyon. I want to take Grand Canyon. Like, this is either Grand Canyon's going to hang tough or Maryland's going to win by 30. Right? I'll take some points with Grand Canyon here. See how it does. Norfolk and Florida. Yeah, I mean, 29 points. This is an old school line here, 28.5. Are they really going to run it up on these poor guys out of Norfolk, out of Virginia? I don't know. That's a no-go. You know, how about an over? You know, they could easily score 90. Florida scored 90s, probably an over. Can I get 60? Even 90 to 60 is not even a cover. Not even an over either. Kentucky and Troy. Here we go. Milwaukee, 7 o'clock at night. Where's it at here on the board? 10.5, 152.5. Didn't really wet the beak too much here with this game. Didn't interest me at all. No thanks. Marquette, New Mexico does, because again, I'm going to be a wacko for the Mountain West. New Mexico. Here we go again. At the Mountain West. I don't even live in the Mountain West, but yet I just find myself enamored and want to be punished by taking 3.5 points here with the Mountain West. Arizona and Akron. I mean, here's Arizona again. This is like the what are the game we're just talking about here? Laying a big number. Alabama. That's not as big. It's 14.5, but Arizona to me is a team that could just kind of play down to a team. You're going to be 14.5. It's gone up a point since I wrote down the lines earlier. It's 13.5, so it's actually gone up. Connecticut and Oklahoma. Playing in North Carolina. Here comes UConn. Their coach, he's got some set on him to be here start whining about a guy dunking on him. Well, it's the playoffs now. It's the tournament. You want to lay 4.5 with UConn here over the Sooners? A scrappy Sooner bunch? I might have to take the 4.5. Why do I think this is like a 2 or 3 point game? What do I have on this? Yeah, I got a 3.5. Give me an extra point. All right. Michigan State and Bryant. Here we go. Michigan State. You know, do I want to lay this kind of number here with the Spartans? I know Detroit Lenny is going to say, just let's do it anyway. I don't know about that. I would probably lean towards Brian a little bit. 18.5 points. I wish it was 20. 20, I take Brian. I wouldn't think 20.5. I'd be like, all right, sign me up. Last game of the night, Liberty and the Oregon Ducks. 6.5, 140.5 here. Closing it out here. The first two rounds are done. Oregon's going to tip off 6.5, 140.5. The class of the Conference USA there for the Liberties. I want to do an over in this game. I'll lean over. And there you go. There's your Marcos winner for the Marcos who's not even been here since football season. Gary, it's in the house. Does Duke have a easy bracket? Well, I think so. I mean, who do you got here? You got Mississippi State, Baylor, Oregon. I think is terrible. Arizona. Would I be shocked if Arizona gets knocked off in the first round? I mean, you're not going to have a battle until the Sweet 16, which it should be when you're a 1 seed. But, I mean, you look at the other brackets. I mean, Auburn's going to get, I think Creighton team was pretty tough. Who else you got in that? You have the Creighton, who was in the Big East championship game. Michigan, who won the Big Ten. San Diego won the Big West. Yale won the Ivy. A&M, it's not a bad team. And who else at the bottom here? I mean, here comes Michigan State. And in you for the Duke side of things, I mean, St. Mary's in Alabama, that'll be an interesting game. But, I mean, come on with Duke. Is this a joke? I mean, Houston's got Gonzaga. Houston might get knocked out in the second round. I mean, look. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this Midwest. Houston, Gonzaga. You can say what you want about Gonzaga. They're still a decent team. You know, like Clemson. Purdue is, listen, they're not that bad. You got Illinois, you got Kentucky, Tennessee, the West, Florida can get defending champ UConn in the second round. Maryland, who people are scared of, think they can make a run. I mean, I like Texas Tech's team. And you got the Johnnies, who are as hot as anybody. I mean, Duke's clearly, again, as a 1 seed, I guess you get the benefit of the doubt to give you an easier bracket, but I'd agree. Robert Morris, Coach Spread champion, 26-7, 11-2 ATS as a dog. Yeah. And yet they win the Horizon. No one talks about them. You're gonna give me a bunch of points here with Robert Morris? I kind of like it. Where are they on the board again here? 23 points, 24 points with Alabama? What am I missing, Ramon? They've been really good the last month plus, Maurice, that's for sure. I don't know. The Minnesota, forget it. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games up for this week. Thursday night, the games end, the lines will come up. Friday they come up. It's not that. No. The crunch numbers are now. And the tournaments where they're just right after another. We got baseball. It won't be too bad. Thomas Bowe likes UConn. Again, do I like 4.5? No, it might be a little too much for them. They're struggling. You don't think 4? I think 4.5 is a lot of points. I might have to take 4.5. Brian first half. I agree with Brian first half. From all your years of watching, covering tournament, the dogs will bark and poop on some people. There, as much as sometimes it's like, oh, you always take. I mean, please, how many times you hear like, oh, the 5 always gets upset by a 12 and this and that? Bro, this is you got to throw that crap out the window now, man. I don't listen to that nonsense. This is sports betting's illegal now. How many years? 10 years ago, you could kind of look at the lines and go A, B, C, and kind of do things. Now, so here comes the trendy dog. Like, I mean, San Diego. How many people are going to have San Diego over Michigan? Right? Arkansas, St. John, second round, right? Oh, look at this. They set it up. It's going to be Calipari versus Patino. Duke, Florida. Hey, listen, if Flag is good, Duke, even if they won't even have to, like, if I'm Duke, am I playing him against Mount St. Mary's? Maybe playing for a half. Baylor, Mississippi State. Playing for a little bit, get him back. You don't have to really risk him. I mean, Florida. Listen, if the seeds hold court, St. John's, Florida is going to be a great game. Florida looks good, yes. Houston or Florida win all. As much as I like Houston, David, dude, can we not sell Gonzaga short in the second round? That's not going to be an easy game. Houston could win, but they're going to be like a 6-7 point favorite over them, maybe. Not going to be an easy game. Maurice says, Final Four, Michigan State. Right, that's not Mount St. Mary. That's Michigan State. Florida, Duke, Clemson. Listen, I'm not going to say no to Clemson coming out of the Midwest. I like them to go on a run. So you think Michigan State survives the South? I mean, that's pretty. I mean, you got Marquette. I think New Mexico beats Marquette. I mean, Marquette's who'd they beat this year? That's a good team. Iowa State's missing a guy. Unless Ole Miss kind of. Well, you know what? Honestly, I would think North Carolina will be the lurker here. Like, so if Ole Miss knocks off North Carolina, then you got like an Ole Miss, Michigan State. But I'll tell you what, North Carolina somehow turns it on and could beat a good team since they haven't beat a good team the entire year. That would be an interesting Sweet 16 matchup there. I don't like the way Auburn's playing. I mean, Crane can knock them off. Heck, Louisville can knock them off in that round. And I think everybody's going on San Diego, so I think Michigan. So really, who got Michigan State? Yeah. I like these. I like these, Maurice. Did you know the under hit 60% time in the first 2 rounds? Probably. Makes sense. Neutral courts, nervousness, bigger arenas, right? You're playing in spots where guys aren't used to shooting with backdrops and stuff like that. What do I think about Drake? I did the rundown. I said I like Drake over Missouri here. We do a little Drake Bulldog action. All right, so we did the whole rundown. You can listen if you want on the iHeart Radio podcast form, available after the stream is done. Yeah, Auburn's not playing well. You can rewatch on the YouTube channels. And that is the tournament. That is the rundown for the bracket. Midday Money back tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday. Baseball up for Thursday. We'll do a live show Thursday morning for whatever that is. Wednesday morning, Thursday morning for the Cubs Dodgers. I will do a Well, I'll probably talk about the baseball futures because we got really, I'm not going to really hit a lot of hockey and stuff like that this week, stuff like that. So there needs to be a baseball show. I got to throw out a bunch of baseball cards. I got to rip some boxes. That'll be on the Sean Higgs YouTube, the base MLB Live for the early game. But there you go. Trailblazers 0-5. Portland playing today? Or they're down 5-0, Portland? You're welcome, Mike A. There you go. I'm out of here. Happy Sunday. See you tomorrow. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.